the first thing that you need to do is you need to go to aplusstudents.com, go to the website and log in. Once you have logged in, you go to the subject math, and your grade level is grade 1. The topic for today is subtraction. Okay, I'll give you the chapter number and the lesson number. The chapter number is 5 and the lesson number is 3. The chapter number is 5 and the lesson number is 3. And the name of the lesson is Ways to Make a Number. We would look at different ways how we can create a number, and the statement is subtraction sentences. Lesson number. Okay, so this is the lesson that we have. Let's go to math grade 1. Math grade 1, chapter number 5 and lesson number 3. Okay, let's begin with this. Everyone, welcome to the class. The first question that we have for this topic is, okay, I'll just get the first question. What we need to do over here is, here are the some ways to find or make a 1. We need to find the pattern over here. Let's see what can the pattern be. Okay, this is the question given to us, and we need to look at these patterns. Let me just rephrase this. Okay, so this is, sorry, the question number 1. The first question says, here are some ways to make a 1. Find the pattern and type the missing subtraction sentence. Okay, so what we need to look at is, what is the total over here? This is 5 minus 4 was equals to 1. This is our given information. 5 minus 4 was equals to 1. That means we know the difference between the two numbers. If we have 5 shapes and we subtract 4 out of those, right? Let's suppose we could take any given 5 shapes and we subtract 4 out of them. That means if these 5 were given to us, okay, let's number them. Can we say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? 5 were given to us and we removed 4 from them. That means 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means we are left with 1. Similarly, if 3 were given to us, for 3 I can write down the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and we remove 2 out of those. That means if we are removing 2, that means we remove 1, 2, and we are still left with 1. That means the difference of any two consecutive numbers would be 1. So what number should come over here? This is 5 minus 4 is 1, 3 minus 2 was 1, 2 minus 1 was 1, and 1 minus 0 was 1, right? So the missing number over here should be 4 minus 3 is equals to 1. This is our answer. So what we need to do is we need to look. Yes, thank you so much, Precious. Thank you, Adam. So what we need to do over here is we need to look at the pattern that is being followed. Okay, so in the pattern we would need to find that particular given number. Agreed? Let's move on to the next question. Okay, the next question says, here are some ways for the pattern. Let me just copy the next question. Okay, and the difference in this next question is 0. We need to find numbers such that the difference would be 0. Okay, let me realign this. These were the given numbers. And okay. So what we need to do over here is find some number. Here are some ways to make a zero, okay? So we need to find numbers how we can create a zero. 4 minus 4 means that we had 4 of anything, right? And we removed the 4. So how many would we be left with? We had 4. Let's suppose if we had 4 apples and we ate or gave away the 4 apples, right? That means we are left with, how many apples would we be left with? If we had 4, I'll just copy and paste this just for the next one. If we had 3, right, that means let's remove this also, okay? If in the first case 4 minus 4, so let's see if we number them 1, 2, 3, and 4. If we had 4 apples and we ate 4 apples, we would be left with nothing, right? And in mathematics, we know that nothing is written with a 0, right? 4 minus 4 would be equals to 0. Similarly, if we had 3 and we ate 3 or we gave away 3, that means we are left with a 0. The next one was 2 minus 2. Agreed? 2 minus 2 is again 0. And the last value given to us is 0 minus 0. So what is the number that comes in between 0 and 2? Yes, thank you so much, both of you. The missing number would be 1 minus 1 would be equals to 0, right? And this is our answer for this given question. Thank you. Moving ahead to the next question. Okay. The next question says, let's see how we can make a 1. Okay. I'll just copy it. For question number 3, these are the given values. Okay. And the statement says, here are some ways to make a 1. This is our question number 3. So in question number 3, what they are asking us is, oh, very similar to what we already did, right? What is 5 minus 4? 5. We write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The maximum number is 5. We subtract the 4. We are left with a 1. The sum of, or the difference of any two consecutive numbers would always be 1, right? Yes. No. Yes. Adibaya, you wrote twice, right? So 1 minus 1. See what we are looking at. 5 minus 4. Over here it is 4 minus 3. The next one is 3 minus 2. The next one would be 2 minus, and what is this number over here? 2 minus 1. That should be equals to 1. Agreed. Thank you so much. It should be equals to 1. So what we are trying to look at is, this was 3, then the next one is 3. If this is 2, then next one is 2. If this is 1, then the next number would be 1. So we just need to find the sequence, the pattern in this question, okay? Moving ahead to the next question, question number 4. Okay, let's see how we can make. In question number 4, they're asking us, here are some ways to make a 0, okay? Okay. This is given to us as question number 4. Okay. And question number 4 says, here are given ways to make a 0 and find the missing. So I'll just paste this. Let's see. What can be our missing number? We know that if we had a 4 and we remove the same number, that means we are left with 0, right? After 4 should come out. See, we have 2 minus 2, we have 1 minus 1, and we have a 0 minus 0. So we are only missing one number in the middle. We look at the pattern over here. This was 4, and after 4 it should be 3. Because 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Agreed? So we have to look at the numbers and we have to create a sequence over here or a pattern over here. What should be the next number? Do we agree? Yes, thank you, Precious, and thank you, everybody. So this is our given answer for this question, for this given pattern, right? Moving ahead to the next question. Okay, the next one is still the same, but they're missing a different value, okay? Question number 5 would say, here are some ways to make a 0, okay? And the pattern, I'll just copy the pattern. Here is the given pattern for us. Let's have a look. It's kind of looks same, right? But in this case, a different value is missing for us. So what should be that value? We can say 4 minus 4 is given. After 4, 3 minus 3 is given. 2 minus 2 is given. 0 minus 0 is given. So when we need to find the missing number, we look at the first numbers, that is a sequence over here. And what should be the number that is missing? Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody. That should be 1 minus 1 is also equals to 0, right? So these values, when we compare the two values in these two questions, this question and this question, the values are almost identical, right? The only difference is that they change the missing number. Over here, this was the missing number. In this case, this is the missing number, right? Agreed? Okay, let's move ahead. Let's look at another example. 1 minute, please. Okay. Now, this is a little different question, okay? So what we try to do is, here are some ways to make 1, the difference of 1, okay? Let's see. The next question would be question number 6. And this is not a 0, this is a 1. This is question number 6. And we need to find, here are some ways to make a 1. Find the pattern and type the missing subtraction sentence, okay? And the missing subtraction sentence would be, if 5 minus 4 is given, okay? These numbers are given to us. We need to find the missing number so that the answer is, so that the difference of the two numbers is 1, right? What is 5 minus 4? That was equals to 1. Agreed. Then after 5 we have 4 minus 3. So what over here we can see is 5 minus 4 was 1. If this is 4, the next one is 4 also. And if this is 3, then this should be 3 minus which number? See, what I'm trying to say is we can see a pattern over here. We have the numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Agreed? And then we are doing a subtraction over here. That means 3 minus, what is the sequence of the other numbers? 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Yes, thank you. Then the next number would be 2 over here. Sorry, 3 minus 2 is equals to 1. And this is the answer. Agreed? So what we need to do is we need to study the sequence. We need to look at the numbers and we need to find the missing set of numbers, right? We have to find the missing value in the given sequence. Okay? Sequence or pattern is the same thing, okay? I'll use the word pattern, okay? So for the next question, it says, okay, question number 7, they're asking us that here are some ways to make a 1. Okay, let's look at question number 7. And they're telling us there are some ways over here. This is our question number 7. And let me just get the pattern. The pattern for this question given is kind of identical, but a different value is missing for us. Okay, let's see. If they're saying that the difference of any two consecutive numbers should be 1, right? That means 5 minus 4 should be equals to 1. Therefore, 4 minus 3 should be equals to 1. Then 3 minus 2 should be equals to 1. And what should be the next sequence? This is 1 minus 0, right? So what can we say over here? The next number should be 2 minus 1, right? And it should be equals to 1. Yes. Okay. So can we say the difference of the number 2 and 1 is also 1? So the missing pattern in this was 2 minus 1, that equals to 1. Do we agree on this? Do we agree that this was the missing value? See, what we can see over here is the pattern given to us was the numbers over here are 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the values, those were subtracted. The numbers were 1 less 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Agreed? So this way we can say the given pattern for us is 2 minus 1 was equals to 1. Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. So the next question says, here are the some values to make a 0. Okay. We are looking at how we can make a 0. And we have some numbers, we will subtract from them. So question number 8 wants us to find a 0. Okay. And the numbers given to us are, I'll just copy the pattern. Okay. Let's make 2 missing numbers in this question. Okay. We try to change a little values in this question. Okay. If this was given to us, can I say if I add another missing value, set of values to this, can I say the another set of values would be the first is also missing? We can have 2 missing, right? All we need to do is we need to see this was 4 minus 4, that was equals to 0, right? So what should be the next number in the sequence? That should be missing. Then we have 2 minus 2, right? Then we have 1 minus 1. And the last we have 0 minus 0. So what are we missing over here? Which numbers are we missing? After 4, we should have a 3. And what we are doing is 4 minus 4 means you subtract the same number from a given number. That means 3 minus 3 would be equals to 0. Agreed. What about the first value? The first value that was missing would be, what number comes before 4? We know that before 4 we can have a 5. That means a 5 minus 5 would also be equals to a 0, right? Yes, thank you, Adibai. That was 3 minus 3, that equals to 0. And the first missing value would be 5 minus 5 is equals to 0. Yes, thank you so much for the answer. Let's have a look at the next question. Okay. The next question says, here are some ways to make a 0. Okay. They're telling us there's several ways to make a 0. This is our question number 9. Okay. Let's have a look. What ways are given to us? And they are saying, okay, if they have given us one missing number, right? One missing number is given in this question. I'll try to make it two missing numbers, okay? We'll try to make it two missing numbers. We are just trying to make a question a little more interesting and a little more difficult, okay? So the given information was 5 minus the same number, that is 5, would be equals to a 0. The next one is yes, thank you, Precious. That is correct. 3 minus 3 and 5 minus 5. Yes. Oh, very nice. 2 minus 2, because we know that after 3 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Very good. And what about the first missing value? Above 5. Which number comes after 5? 1 greater than 5 is? What is the number that is bigger than 5? 1 bigger than 5? Or 1 more than 5? See, we can see if we start reading from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and after 5 it should be, yes, it should be 6, right? So we can say 6 minus 6 is always equals to 0, right? We are just trying to add more parts to the question so that our question becomes more interesting and a little more difficult. Okay, so we go to the next question, and the next question says, here are some ways to make 1. Okay, so some ways to make a 1 are given to us, and this would be our question number 10. Okay, let's have a look how we can make a 1. Okay, again we will add one more box to it. Okay, I'll just add another box to it so that, and where can I add the box? I can add it at the top, right? So what we need to see is, if we subtract any two numbers, that is 5 minus 4, it should be equals to 1. 3 minus 2 was equals to 1. 2 minus 1 is equals to 1, right? and so on. That was 1 minus 0 was still equals to 1. So how can we find the two missing values in the sequence? What we would do is we would look at the missing numbers, only the first part of the numbers, right? What we'll do is when we look at these numbers over here, what numbers can we see missing? 5. After 5, it should be 4. And before 5, it should be 6. Agreed? We have a minus sign over here. And if we want to look at the other missing numbers, each number is differing each other by 1, right? So this was 6 minus a number that should be equals to 1. 4 minus the number should be equals to 1. So what should be the answer? 6 minus the previous number, that is 5. Agreed? And similarly, 4 minus this number, that would be 3. And we can say that 4 minus 3 is also equals to 1. Do we agree on that? Okay. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to find the missing values in the given pattern to make a 1. It could be a 0, it could be a 1, it could be a 2, right? But our questions right now is ways to make a 0 and ways to make a 1, right? Okay, very good. Let's have a look again. So the next question says, I hope it's a better one. Okay. The next question number 11 says, here are some ways to make a 1. Okay. And we are given some patterns, and some patterns are missing out of this. Okay. So let's say if we copy them and we paste them. Okay. If I would say 2 patterns are missing from it. Okay. And another pattern is given to us. Okay, I changed the question a bit. So what we can see in this question is the first pattern given was 6 minus 5 was equals to 1, right? The larger number is 6, subtracts the smaller number, the difference would be 1. In the next case, it is 5 minus 4 should be equals to 1. Agreed? After this, it would be 4 minus 3 would be equals to 1. Then shouldn't this be equal to 3 minus the next number after 3 is 2 is equals to 1, and the next one would be 2 minus, okay, 1 should be equals to 1. How can we see our pattern is correct or incorrect? What we do is we look at the first set of values, right? If we are trying to make a difference of 1, then each number would have a difference of 1. It would be, these numbers would be in a sequence. That would mean 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And in the same way, the numbers over here would also be in a sequence. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Therefore, all these values would give us a difference of 1, right? So what we did was there was one missing number, we made it into 2 missing numbers, right? So it does not make any difference if there is 1 missing number or 2 missing numbers. As long as we can understand the sequence, it would be easy for us to find the value. Any questions up till now? Do we have any questions? If there are any questions, please do ask so that I would explain it again. If no questions, then I would move on to the next question. Okay, let's begin with the next question. The next question we have is they are asking us to make a zero. Okay, I'll just copy the statement. And question number 12 says, here are some ways, here are some ways to make a zero. Find the pattern and type the missing subtraction sentence, right? Kind of very easy. And it says, these are the numbers that are given to us. Let me just copy them on the screen. Okay, if these were the numbers that are given to us, and I'll say one more that is unknown to us, that is, let's suppose the first value. Can we simplify? We know that. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Adibai. We know that 5, if you open up 5 fingers and you close 5 fingers, how many fingers would left be open? None, right? All fingers are closed now. That means 5 minus 5 was equals to 0. The next one is 4 minus a 4 would be equals to 0. We had 4, we gave away 4, we are left with 0. If we had 3, we ate 3. At the end, we are left with 0, right? So what should be the missing two values? We can look at the pattern over here. Each number has a difference of 1. That means after 3, it should be 2. Before 5, it should be 6. Agreed? That is 6 minus and 2 should be equals to 0 and should be equals to 0. And what we can see over here is we are subtracting the same number from the given number. 5 minus 5, 4 minus 4, 3 minus 3, and so on. That means 6 minus 6 should also be equals to, yes, it should be equals to 0. And in the end, 2 minus 2 should also be equals to 0. Agreed? Let's do a question or two more, then let's do the test after that. Okay? It's kind of easy, but let's practice one or two more questions. Then we'll do the test together. Okay. For question number 13, they're asking us to some ways to make a difference of 1. And the numbers that are given to us are, okay, let's do 2 missing numbers in this. Okay, if this question was given to us, let's do 2 missing numbers. Okay, so what we need to see is what is the difference? The difference over here is 1, right? So can we say the difference would be 1 also over here? Because we are trying to find some ways to create a difference of 1. Agreed? Okay, we look at the first set of numbers. This is given as 5. Then the next number is not same. It is 4. Then what should be after 4? It should be 3. After 3, we should have a 2. And after 2, we have a 1. Okay, that means when we were subtracting, we put a negative sign over here. Agreed? Because 5 minus 4, 4 minus 3, 2 minus 1 was given. So the missing values should also have a negative sign. So what do we need to subtract from 3 to make it 1? 3 minus a number should be equals to 1. And we can still find it through the pattern over here. When we look at the second set of numbers over here, can we say this was 4, 3, the next one should be 2, 1, and 0, right? That means the difference of any two consecutive numbers is always 1. Okay? If we agree on this, let's start with the test. Let's do some questions from the test and let's see. Let me just copy the questions. Just a minute, please. Okay. And the first question that we have says, okay, I'll give the heading for the test. The first question, question number 1 from the test. Okay, these are the options that are given to us. And we need to make ways to, here are some ways to make a 0. Find the partner, type the missing subtraction sentence. This is test. Agreed. And this was question number 1. So which option should be correct? Option A, option B, option C, or option D? If the given values are these, which option should be correct? A, B, C, or D? What we can see is 4 minus 4. If you had 4 candies, you ate 4 candies, you're left with 0 candies, right? If you had 2 candies, you ate the 2 candies, you're left with 0 candies. If you had 1 and you ate 1, you're left with 0. What does 0 minus 0 mean? If you don't have a candy, you cannot eat a candy, and you're still left with 0 candies, right? Or anything else, right? So what should be the missing number? Option A, B, C, or D? Adibai and Precious, what should be the answer? See, we have to look at the sequence of numbers, right? We say the first number was 4, the next number was missing, then we have a 2, 1, and 0. Is it following a sequence? 4. Can we say the next one is 3? Can we say this is 3? Agreed? Then we have missing. Can we say over here? This one. Then again we can say 4, 3 is equals to 0. Yes, thank you, Precious. Option A is the correct answer. Thank you so much. So whenever the options are given, we need to select the correct option. Let's look at the second question. I'll click on the first question. There are only 15 questions. It would be quite easy for us to complete them, right? So question number 2 says, these are the given options. Let me just copy them. And the statement is, to make a 1. This is question number 2 for us. And these options A, B, C, and D. Can we find the answer? We can say that 5 minus 4 was equals to 1. Agreed. The next one is 4 minus 3 equals to 1. And then the missing value. So what should be the missing option? A, B, C, and D. See, if we look at the first option, that is 6 minus 7, right? It cannot be 6 minus 7. Why? Because it has to be a number less than 4. Agreed? And 1 minus 1 is not equal to 1. It is equals to 0. So this is also not possible. Okay, so we are just trying to find which options are possible, which are not possible. The answer should be what should be the answer? If you look at the sequence over here, this was 5, this was 4, then this should be 3 minus, this was 4, this is 3, then it should be 2, 1 and 0. Agreed? So, and we also know that 3 minus 2 is always equals to 1. So which option should be correct? This is also incorrect, right? 2 minus 3, 2 minus 1 is not equal to 3, it equals to 1. So this is the only correct option we have, option number D. Yes, thank you, Precious. Option number D is the correct answer. So we click on 3 minus 2 equals to 1, and it shows us the correct answer. The next question for this topic is, here are some ways to find, okay, what do we need to make? We have to make 0, okay? And the numbers that are given to us are 5 minus 5. Let's see. Okay, I'll just copy paste. These are the values that are given to us. This is our question number 3. And these are the options A, B, C, and D. We know that 5 minus 5 is a 0. 3 minus 3 is also a 0. 2 minus 2 is also a 0. And 1 minus 1 is also a 0. So any answer that has 1 or any other number cannot be the correct answer, right? Because the answer has to be a 0. Agreed? Is the number missing after 5 or before 5? What is the number missing? See, 5, we have 5 minus 5, then we have 3 minus 3. That means the number is missing after 5, right? It cannot be before 5, it cannot be 6. Agreed? So what are the options we have? We have only option number A or option number D left, because the result has to be 0. And yes, we can say that since this was 5, then this should be 4 minus 4. Agreed? That means option A should be our correct answer. Yes, thank you. Moving ahead, they are easy questions, but we need to keep on revising them, right? Why do we need to keep on revising them? So that when we are doing more difficult questions, we do not make the same we do not make mistakes, and we do not spend time thinking about it. Okay. Okay. This is the next question that we have, and it says some ways to make a 0, and this is our question number 4. Okay. These are the given options A, B, C, and D. So what we can see over here is it has to be equals to 0. If it's equals to anything else, right? It cannot be. 4 minus 3 is equals to 1. It cannot be, because we are looking at how to make a 0. Agreed? So we exclude all the values. We have been given 4 minus 4. We have 2 minus 2. So what is the number missing in between them? Between 4 and 2, we have 3, right? Okay, and we can see that, yes, option number B is the correct option, okay? So we are done with 4 questions, very easy ones, okay? And we have total 15, that means 11 are left, right? Please do try those all 11 questions and complete the homework, okay? Have a nice day, take care, and best of luck. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.